A very good afternoon to you here on Pan African TV. This is Youth Empowerment Television Show, your most authoritative youth analysis program you can find across the African continent. We are live inside the studios of Pan African TV. We are also live in some 35 African countries and beyond. And so if you're watching us and you want to join the show, send your WhatsApp messages, text messages coming on 0548503799, 0548503799. If you're also watching us on satellite TV, multi-TV, digital TV, Go TV, all those platforms, don't forget that you also can be part of the conversation that we are having as we announce the test line and everything. On Facebook, all those who have started sharing the link to, we are most grateful, and we'll be doing our best to read the messages as the show goes on. Today we'll be discussing a very important topic, a topic that many Ghanaians are very interested in joining that particular conversation, but we would have to also get somebody who is well versed in this particular area to help us understand as young people whether or not it's very much possible for us to have healthcare for all. Mr. Skofri Nana Yao Yeboah is a transformational coach. He's a certified corporate trainer and a consultant, and we are pleased to have him here. I mean, some of you watching us already have seen him at major programs, and it's an honor to have him here to join us do the discussion. Let me also let you know that this show is proudly brought to you by Crossmark Marketing, and Crossmark Marketing are the organizers of the Universal Merchant Bank Ghana Tertiary Awards, Ghana Influential Awards, and also GSMB. And so we'll go straight to our conversation so that we won't waste a lot of time. Mr. Skofri, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, my boss.
Such a pleasure to have you here.
Humbling to be on your show.
So I want us to look at this very, very well. Is Ghana's healthcare sector able to meet its deliverables in making sure everybody across our space gets access to free healthcare?
Well, I want to first of all say good afternoon to your cherished viewers across the continent, and also to those who have the youth and the nation's development, and to the large extent the continent at heart. And I want to situate the question to even the continental perspective, because it's all I want to serve with Osajifo, who said that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it's linked with. So anything that you want to question Ghana on, you ask yourself, how does it dovetails into that of the rest of the continent? And I come from the school of thought or school of philosophy, what we call ontology, mindfulness and ecology. And as a healing of memories practitioner, when I hear health, I basically don't look at it from the ordinary definition of say, okay, it is about tools, it's about medicine, and it's about infrastructure. Which basically means the concept of the aftermath effect of when human beings have taken ill. So we those in this mindfulness area of ontology, which basically means the beingness of who we are as humans. That is ontology, everything about us. So I look at it from that premises, that is the typical Ghanaian, is the typical African of the right serene beingness, where whatever we evoke or give birth or give forth is in our strength of total being. So that is how come if you look at the WHO definition of what health is, it actually end up saying with well-being. It's not only healthcare. So if you really want to discuss this subject matter, it must be taken from healthcare and well-being. Because well-being from all philosophical and scientific perspective transcends just a simple matter of not having headache or not having tummy ache. But I could be experiencing anxiety.
That's a health problem?
And that is a health problem.
Wow.
Okay, I could be going through a series of trauma. I could be facing subject matter of mental situations. I could be, and yet I was smart with and everything is fine. But because I don't complain of headache, I don't complain of, let's say, stomach ache. I don't complain of nail ache and everything. You might consider me to be healthy. So even the absence of quality relationship, interpersonal relationship, the absence of a quality interpersonal relationship.
That's also a health problem.
It's a health problem.
Wow.
That is how come recently loneliness have been classified as one of the situations. Loneliness where people cannot socially interact. People recently, I think UN is thinking about if you're not even able to get married, where you can have a sound relationship. It's a challenge, a mental situation. So if you really want to discuss quality health care and well-being accessible, you must spread the umbrella quite wide so that you look at it from the holistic perspective. Recently, when I chanced on the life expectancy index, the global life expectancy index, guess what? There is no single African nation in the first 60 countries that have expectancy rate above 70 years and above.
Really?
The closest we got, I think, was Algeria, which is 63rd. Morocco, 67th. Like that in that dot. And if you do a comprehensive continental or even regional blocks in Africa, West Africa has the least life expectancy. If you do with continental...
Just for the purposes of the many young people watching us, life expectancy here...
Life expectancy basically even when people put to birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rate of survival.
The rate of survival.
For the mother and child.
For the mother and child.
Okay.
Then the exiting point, at what age do we exit?
Okay.
Okay, so if you put infant mortality, maternal mortality, and you put up to the aged when we exit, we have the worst case of statistics.
Really?
The continent called Africa has got the worst case of statistics. So if you project it, you realize that it is not only the infection of diseases that makes us not live long. Poverty is not necessarily having headaches, but the fact that the person look at his or her life as a young person and you realize that there is no future out there for you to look up to. It affects your well-being. And I've already cited a lot of young people, a lot of adults don't have healthy even social relations.
Yeah.
People are in very horrible romantic, what they call, they want to associate, so they are just in there, but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
So the subject matter of accessible quality health care and well-being is possible. Why? Because other jurisdictions have been able to do it and achieve it. So if you look at the latest Safe City Index that was done by the Economist Intelligence Unit, Copenhagen, Tokyo, all those countries, if you look at the integration of education, agriculture, science and technology, and how it balances healthcare in general, then you realize that even security is a subject matter of accessible healthcare.
Wow.
So it is not just the situation of diarrhea, malaria, HIV, and this. Because if you look at how we responded to the pandemic, just this COVID pandemic, compared to other jurisprudence, if what is happening in the UK now, with all that infrastructure, is to happen to this continent, we will be like chicken on the street. Because the infrastructure is supposed to support even that is not there. I said recently that I've not even seen a single research finding that says that African leaders have met and they are going to find out how come even though we had the porous of infrastructural health systems, yet we seem to be sailing through the COVID. Something is working on our side. Instead of us to come up with the scientific evidence to what is working in our interest, we will sit down. And sometimes the universe is
is it not because of proactiveness by some leaders? Some of the world leaders have been according our president with prudent mechanisms that have been put in place to ensure that we don't have a surge in the numbers and all of that. His speech have been quoted by the WHO and looks like proactiveness. Is there any scientificness behind all of these things aside government being proactive?
Can you tell me that looking at healthcare and well-being from the broader spectrum, no belittling of the effort we have made, let's say, like a country like Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do we feel threatened when there is a spinal meningitis on the offing?
Wow. Okay.
Okay. If you want to test that you have robust systems, these are the things you must look out for.
Yeah.
People are dying of simple convulsion. So, for me, and knowing and having a philosophy of how the universe works, The world is telling Africa that something is in your interest or your benefit. Grab the scientific defense of it and maximize it. We will sit down till somebody comes in, invest in that research and development, grab what it is and take it away. Then we begin to complain. So it's sometimes there's a way the universe announces certain insight for you to grab on.
Is this not the pure work of these scholars or people in this in this department? Some of them, government sponsors many of our doctors to Cuba. There are some research allowances being given to university lecturers and all of those things. Is that not what they are supporting them to do?
I don't know if you've seen Ghana's budget on health. the allocation that goes into the sector called health. Have you seen that?
No, what I know is that education receives a chunk of Ghana's budgetary allocations and stuff.
You see, we there's a way we play fanfare.
In nominal values, I have not seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a way we play fanfare so that it's sort of that short-lived excitement. But if you look at the cracks and the core of why we are lagging, so don't pitch Ghana to Nigeria. Okay, pitch Ghana to Algeria in life expectancy, then you can tell. Pitch Ghana to Morocco in life expectancy, then you can tell. But if you don't do those pitching and you glamour in this glorification of minute treasure, because we don't stretch ourselves so enough. Because we lack that ability to want to stretch. We want to say, we look at this, we look at that. But no, other smaller countries with our same population, with even minimum resources that we have, they are doing better than us. So what is your excuse?
In Africa.
You just mentioned Cuba.
Yeah.
What is the population of Cuba compared to Ghana?
It's about 10 or 20 million.
Exactly. What are the natural resources and everything? We have it more than them in any facet.
People are saying that because Cuba's population is very, 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 very minute or small as compared to Ghana, it makes them have, a high par doctor to citizen ratio. I think they have a doctor to about 100 people ratio as compared to Ghana, about 1 to about 10,000 population and stuff.
None of all these excuses holds water.
Okay.
If you want to judge and look at it from what is the impact of our education on the well-being of the citizens, these are the questions you should be having. What is the impact of Ghana's education on the well-being of its population? One, what is the impact of Ghana's agriculture on the citizenry? We live in a country with arable land, and maize will go out of market, cassava will go out of market, to some point that we were importing tomato from sister countries, importing plantain for Cote d'Ivoire. And is this something we should clap? With all arable land, and suddenly we've gone into GMO food. See, this is where you need to question. From where I come from in practice, we don't just say things, we question. As a certified coach, I don't tell, I don't advise, I question situations. So why is Ghana inclusive of the West African bloc that has got the least life expectancy?
But Mr. Scoffrey, somebody would say that, okay, so life expectancy, is it that childbirth, what does government need to do with it? Is it on the CS, or is it on the, do we need special machines to receive babies, or what really is the case? Healthcare delivery?
I don't know if you have lived in any of our remote areas.
Oh, okay.
If somebody suffers from a simple snake bite, and the distance to a simple chips compound, by the time you get a person is dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Simple stuff situations that shouldn't cost people's life, cost our lives. You and I were in this country. Anytime I hear about this story where a brother had the father seriously ill, from Ga East through to all the major hospitals in Greater Accra region, he couldn't get a bed that could accommodate the father.
That's my family member. That's my uncle.
Okay, so I don't intend to bruise.
Yeah, I get it.
My condolences to the family.
Thank you.
When we hear, and I'm talking about Greater Accra region, the national capital, there was a point, and there's a point in time when people are sick, there is no bed. Okay, let's move from infrastructure. What is the quality of the well-being? Look at the distance our children have to cover before they access education. Look at the structure of our tertiary education now, that when you pick the typical university student, the fact that the guy is graduating, even those with skill like medicine and nurses, knows that there is no job for them to hang on. Do you know how that impacts their mental reasoning? And recently, doctors have started complaining, psychologists have started complaining that the rate of depression ongoing among young people is alarming. Where do you think that is coming from? So it is not only infrastructure deficit that we have. We don't have the system, a robust system that takes care of the well-being of the typical Ghanaian. That is what we are lacking. Because life expectancy has got in the prevention, have gone into a holistic life where people eat food that there are people who don't eat 3 square meals. People who don't even know what it takes to take fruit. People have seen us talk about chocolate or cocoa. Ghanaians are the who have not seen Ghana's own golden tree chocolate before. Yet they are the one cultivating cocoa. So
it looks funny, but what you said is interesting.
No,
there's somebody.
This is the dimension. Yet the typical child in, let's say, Scotland or wherever, where they don't produce, they don't grow, they don't even grow, they don't know how the cocoa plant goes through, but they've seen various forms of chocolate. And do you know the medicinal properties of chocolate? The medicinal properties of cocoa, that we cannot buy it. Do you know the amount of how that black cocoa costs? And the medicinal properties of this, and we cannot buy it. So this is what I'm talking about. Because when you merge financial status, health status, agriculture, science, if you look at the economists, their research that they did, safe cities. I'll quote it reservedly. Okay. Safe cities. They said that what goes into that index, these are the things that goes into their index. This is what goes into their index. Okay. They say that infrastructure, out of 76 indicators, they grouped into 5. So it is infrastructure, personal security, COVID-19 mortality, digital life, health into bracket, pandemic preparedness, and environmental factors. Let's start scoring. What is the security, safety status of this country? What is the digital life of this nation? When there are certain places you go, you cannot get access to even ordinary call, to even imagine data to make things. Okay. What is the personal security? So out of this, they tease out about 76 factors, and these are some of the questions they ask. Does the city have smart city plan that focuses on cyber security of the smart city? Which point to me one simple suburb in Accra that is a smart city.
We don't even have a city center.
Okay. Accra, yeah. Okay. How many doctors per 1,000 population does the city have? Greater Accra. Okay. Now, what is the average life expectancy of the population in the city? What COVID mortality rate per 10,000 population in the city? This is what we can say. Okay, we did a bit well, so let's pride ourselves more. So what about the rest of the 11? Yeah. It says that the city have a disaster emergency as we speak. A bus has got bent and all passengers are gone on Akumadan Road. Okay, as we speak, what percentage of GDP is spent on social assistance programs? Scan all the government social. As we speak, NAPCO has ended. Other interventions are not happening. How prevalent is violent crime in our city? Suddenly, it is growing up. What is the average annual concentration of PM 2.5? What is the percentage of tree cover within the city? Greater Accra have lost its all tree coverage. This is how a city is classified as safe city.
Wow.
So even let's pick our triangle, Kumasi, Takrady, and a Greater Accra. None of us make into this particular safe city.
Wow.
So pitch it against any country that is mentioned in this safe city. We are not there yet. Yeah. So healthcare and well-being. You see, that is what sometimes, if you go way back to the era of our forefathers, even when they didn't have the technology and light, they had solid life when they could go into the 80s and 90s because access to food.
quality interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
The friendship,
family system,
the friendship we said today, every bro make wild. So we don't have quality friendship. As for lovey and that, it is exploitation. That is how come the youth of today are so alcoholic, substance abuse, and sexual abuse so driven. Because offer the phone, the first thing they think about is they can't think about future.
Yeah.
They can't think about
The
future.
immediate things.
They can't. The ordinary young Ghanaian, the young African, cannot see into the future and say, I want to hang on this aspect of our life and say, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
Compare it to a 16-year-old child born in Finland, Denmark. Compare it. And this, our peers, when it comes to independence, look at what is happening in the Dubai Expo as we speak.
Yeah.
This is when we say quality healthcare and well-being. Not that it cannot be done.
Yeah.
But when you look at the SDG goals,
yeah,
there are 17. Number 3, it says good healthcare. If you look at all African government design programs, none of them really is interlocked. I'm using interlocked because if you look at Nkrumah's 7 years and 9 year development plan,
yeah,
he will tell you why Legon must be here.
Yeah, okay.
Why Legon must have these following courses. Why this school must be in Cape Coast and they must offer that courses. Why KNUST is here must offer those courses. Then you see there will be industry springing up where it will be taking the graduate from there to feed those industry. So you realize that is what we call integrative intervention.
Integrative intervention.
Okay. Meaning you interlock every agenda you bring into being. I beg you. Look at all government structures and see how are they interlocked. Look, the mother will take seed. Oh, I thank God. Hi, honey. We're expecting a bouncy baby boy. 7 months, they start getting worried. Why? They are not in trust of the health system. If they go to delivery, they will come back.
It's true. There's a fear indirectly, but everybody pretends to be happy.
And what is so damning is epigenetics says that when the environment, how we connect to the environment, when something occurs, when we connect to the environment, epigenetics allow our genes to generate certain chemicals within the body that mostly even affect the body.
Really?
Yes. So most of the diseases are not really from the environment. It is what through epigenetics, the fear, the fear that I won't make it when I go to delivery, because the primary part of our brain is all about defense, safety and stuff. It can even overprotect you.
Yeah.
And that overprotection inhibits other aspects of your brain and your body to function well. So by the time he gets there, she's anemic. Because the body is regulating so protectively. It's like you want to protect the egg so heavy that you press it so hard that pump, then you break it.
Yeah.
So until governments on this continent can say, let's put the well-being, the healthcare. I'm not talking about medicine. Now let's say this. If because this is a commercial program, I can't call some products name.
Oh, you can. We're educating people, so you can just.
If you pick all the food supplements on the market, none is planted, harvested, processed, packaged, and sold in Africa. None.
Hey.
All the food supplements, I don't want to mention products here. None. And we import them through dollars, hard currency. So when it is sold, we carry all those money back to the countries of origin.
Yeah.
And we have all the plant base that is needed to produce all this. Why do we kill our own?
Hey, but Mr. Scoffrey, you know all of these things. I'm sure other people know all of these things. We always know the problem. Who is supposed to? Government says that even the public sector is choked. They can't pick anybody. I mean, there are lots of associations. there are
so until we see that quality health care and well-being is no more a subject matter of Ridge Hospital, Legon Hospital, that hospital, Agenda 111, until we see that that is not holistic healthcare and well-being, but even education, access to quality education, access to good food.
There must be an integrated solution.
Exactly, that's what I was mentioning. Yeah, right. So if I pick all manifestos and it cannot be integrated, then it's so sad. And this is why we are not living long.
Yeah.
And the case of men are even worse. The life is only between men and women. The men are dying earlier, so maximum 60, the guy is gone. 55, the guy is gone. And the woman will have to do kunasa till maybe 85. So I asked my female friends, how do you feel that perhaps your son will die earlier than the wife that he is going to marry? Then realize that it begins to dawn on them.
Yeah.
So not that it is not that it cannot be achieved. It has been done elsewhere. The question is, what kind of leadership produces such kind of quality health care?
Yeah.
Look at our insurance system. If you want to do private insurance, it's like committing suicide.
Yes.
So expensive.
Yes.
What do we have to do to make sure that it could be flexible for the ordinary Ghanaian? Okay, what about national insurance system? Where there are hospitals because of delay. Look, the pharmacies, whatever, you see government owes them so much. The hospitals, government owes them so much. So the leadership that drives citizenry, that can allow them to master their health in their hand, we've not gotten it yet. Leadership. Did you see how Angela Merkel was so integral in the battle of COVID in Germany?
Yes.
The president of, I think, New Zealand, Australia, they were so integral in battling the situation. We were in this country that it was leading leaders or functionaries who were breaking the protocols of COVID.
Yes. The political gain, some for other.
So exactly. Yeah. So that leadership by example that we don't have, it's not it's not the absence of activity. It is attitude and mindset.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about leadership in Africa, we see it to be position occupation.
Yes.
But because leadership elsewhere is not position occupation, but it is about legacy and putting the interest of people first, that is why they are able to do amazing things and they have the following. So now what I've been saying is that recently there was a research we were looking at and it says that ideally every week you should connect to somebody you have not connected before. More or less you are accumulating quality friendship, quality social relationship. People are even in relationship, I'm talking about even romantic relationship, that they are just there occupying the space. They can know, they can tell within their heart of hearts that in the heart brain, in the gut brain, the head brain, they are not connected. They are only occupying space. That is why people are even married, but they still feel lonely. And loneliness is a mental disorder. So the well-being.
Now, loneliness is a mental disorder.
Yes. Do you know the impact of what loneliness does to us? Because that is why it puts you back into depression and you want to hide. People live with their kids, but they will tell you, I feel lonely, because they've not checked their well-being. They don't have headaches, so they think they are not sick, but they've not checked their well-being. How do you value being with your lover, somebody you know you love and care about? How do you feel being with somebody who knows, who checks on you, believe in your welfare, not the Momo welfare type that has become bedding for guys. I'm talking about the welfare where we can sit and talk about your tomorrow, your health, your this, your that, and they say, let's do this together because I'm in love with you. We don't want that. People cannot even sit and discuss with their kids.
Lately is what you put on a table.
Exactly. So we are no more giving. Everybody wants to take, and the society that is full of the mentality of taking is a sick society.
Yeah.
Because a healthy society gives.
It's true.
How many of us gave during the pandemic? The whole continent. Okay. Are you aware that every continent has produced a vaccine except Africa?
But Ghana have set up.
Please, don't do that. I'm saying that every continent has produced a vaccine
except the African continent.
Except African continent. The number of countries on the market begging for vaccine, Africa leads.
Even the COP 206 or the COP the climate world leaders gathering, Africa is on the radar asking for more support.
So you take Accra for instance. Our president is in Glasgow, and I love the statement he made. We are making all buildings in Accra glass, everything. All those green vegetation, small, we've cut all of them down. That one too, now Oyibo way, if you can't talk, you say what they do, it will affect your people. I don't know. there is a town, like a district in Germany, that is pure green.
Yeah.
Pure green. And here, it has become an ish. So you see what I was talking about? Because we don't have that leadership that integrates everything. Like by now, government should sit with the engineers and whatever and say, guys, how can we cut down this and that is facing us?
Yeah.
The floods that are occurring in Accra, it's not natural.
Really?
The last time I saw the topography of Greater Accra region, because most of the heavy rains come from the Kapim Ridge.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Even the Kapim Ridge is losing its trees.
Hey.
So the way the community should have held a lot of water for us, because go and see the rush from Ayikuma to Peduase Lodge. Go and see.
You see lots of buildings.
So I'm telling you, I'm telling you, we lack tomorrow.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
And this is well-being. This is healthcare we are talking about here.
But if you pass around, is it the Flagstaff House area, Christ the King Church there? There's a National Development Commission there. I mean that helps our country to turn a developmental line.
You see, in Africa, there's something we call, you can have your mind, we will have our way. And that has been the bane of us. Our leaders are blind into the future. We are concerned about what we eat now. Look, like Michael Jackson said, they don't care about us. And if they don't care about us, and we keep putting them out there, then it actually means that we don't care about ourselves.
Yeah.
That is why we keep putting those caliber of leaders out there who don't care about us, but we still put them out there. So how do we care? How do we care about ourselves? Like the young people, I have said that for today, if you are watching and you are listening to my voice, can you audit your first set of friends, 10, your cycle, if it is 6, and ask yourself, what do any of them bring to your social basket that makes you feel healthy? Audit it and see.
You may not get one.
So you realize that you yourself don't even bring anything. So it is like it's like magnetism. You put in what you get. So you realize that we are not even having, that is the cheapest of all quality health. The cheapest.
It's a human relationship.
Yes. It's the cheapest. It doesn't cost even so much money. It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest. You go into homes. Father does not have time to spend with their kids. He is chasing money. The mother is also a corporate woman. She's chasing money. It's left with the kids and television. Do you know the impact of excessive television on the brain? Like you see, I don't want to go into this deeper. There's something called serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin and co. They are all chemicals that must be in congruence. That must have a balance. Excessive light deprive you of sleep. Do you know the medicinal qualities of? I'm not talking about lying down and you waking up. I'm talking about sleep that allows your body to shut and regenerate tissues. We call it rest.
It's not the one you have to take a tablet to sleep.
No, I'm not talking about the one that you just go through the momentary of eyes shut and period and you wake up. I'm talking about where you can say that I have rested.
Yeah, that feeling.
How many of us goes on holidays? And through religion, we have demonized and witchcraftized our hometowns to the point that we don't go for
vacations
and our festivals anymore. You see, local tourism is so expensive, brother.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. It is only in Africa that airplane from Ghana to Nigeria or to South Africa, anywhere, is more expensive. Because somebody can take, I remember when I met a colleague of mine in Morocco, he said, traveling from France to other places shouldn't cost you anything more than 300
it's true.
pounds.
I went to Abidjan recently, and the in and out is about 7,000 cities. I went with Air Cote d'Ivoire, but when I'm moving from Italy to Spain, from Spain to, I pay maybe about 30 euros or 60.
So I'm just telling you, if you look at the entire structure of the continent, it is a suicide continent we are living in.
Suicide.
It's like homicide. It's like homicide. We are designed to be killed by our own systems. Why should it be so expensive?
Yeah.
If you want to go to the beaches, we are poo-pooed all over. It's not healthy. If you want to do simple Achimota forest, look, every major stuff in Greater Accra, we've brought all down. You see,
You don't even have an active zoo where you can have a greenness and all of that.
I am not very old, but do you know the cantonment and the Labonis and those areas and ministries were typically green?
Really? Our Laboni cantonment where we
I'm
have...
telling you, it was green. It's a green zone, flowers and trees and everything. So everything you could feel. We thought Nkrumah was stupid. So now we've commercialized all these places that we are building stuff and all our trees are gone.
Going down, yeah.
And when the flood comes, where do you want all the open spaces that we used to play football to keep fit, the young people can stuff, all has been put into supermarket and estate and stuff. Where do you want the race to go?
Wow.
You see, and nobody looks at this as part of our well-being.
It's true.
We've produced 1 million jobs. We have done this and we have done that. It takes wise people to say, okay, pause. What is the impact of this job on the mental health of the young person? Now, if I am sound and I can send a stipend of 200 Ghana cedis back to my mother in the village, do you know the mental wellness of how my employability has got a channel? We call it tripling effect to people behind me. We don't do these calculations. So we think it's all about a job and stuff and it's fine. No. There are some diseases. If you go to the pharmaceutical shops and stuff and you bring that card that you want to use it to buy,
card.
They know, even if paracetamol, you see the kind they'll give to you. If you go with private card, you see the type they'll give to you. If you go with premium, you see the type they'll give to you.
Efficacy is high.
Exactly. Which shouldn't be the case.
Sure.
But because our system does not do integrative intervention and we pay lip service and we play jamborees with figures and we jump about and stuff, this is why achieving the quality healthcare and well-being is difficult. Recently, when I alerted, I think a year or so ago, that Funny Face was tripping. I think I discussed this with my friend Kojo Dakwa, class,
Kojo Preko.
Preko. And Kojo was like, Scoff, no, maybe it's just media gimmick because we have that relationship. Other friends I spoke to in the media, they said it was a hype of the industry. Now, look at where we are. Miss V had gone through depression. A lot of them have gone through the phases. Others are battling addiction.
Yeah.
Because we lack into. So how many entertainment guys have signed up onto like we have a retention clinician or a therapist or a coach? Is that when you pick Jay-Z's management, these people are there receiving salaries because they take care of them. If you pick president of Global, because if Nelson Mandela had a coach, Tony Robbins was Nelson Mandela's coach, Serena Williams. So, but the coaching doesn't. They think give them small advice and let me go somewhere. We don't understand well-being, and sorry to say, we have also the religious aspect that even compounds some of the challenges. Not everything is prayer. Some is common sense.
Prayer answers all things. That's what they say.
Oh, prayer without works is void.
Yeah.
Is it not the same scripture? So why do we eliminate the works and just want the superficial? So until we begin to have such discussions, and I give all credit to Sanjay Global for their global medical discourse from which this particular theme came forth. People don't engage in such discussions or healthy interviews. We don't do that. That's true. Except it's a brohara scam. Oh, then let's go and meet a psychologist. But to engage in discussions that look at the face it. If you meet the finance minister right now, if you meet the agri minister right now, if you meet them and ask them, okay, in all that you've planned, what is its impact on our well-being? They don't know. because that is not what triggered the innovation or the intervention, which is different elsewhere. When you meet your colleagues outside this country and you look at their thinking, just their thinking pattern, and you observe their attitude, then you realize that they've gone through a holistic well-being system. But not in our case. Have you seen what is happening on social media? How now insult has become the easy avenue for us to express how we feel. And our leaders too are angry about it. I told somebody, we don't need to be angry. I think we need to begin to ask questions. What is happening? So our young people, look, the way they are sexually active, it is not the benefit of sex. Actually, we are not even getting it.
There's benefit from sex. Okay, child making.
Not that. Child making is a secondary benefit of sex.
Aside making babies,
it is a secondary.
Sex.
Yes.
Benefit.
I'm saying it's the secondary.
So sex gives what?
Okay, another topic.
Okay, pleasure.
It's not pleasure. Because there is something that it does, the chemicals it releases for your body benefit.
I see.
This is where the addiction sets in. Because you trigger it not for the holistic well-being, but for a certain instantaneous satisfaction. Because there is a lack. There is a hole in your heart. There is an absence of something. Most often than not, we cannot even know what exactly I'm missing. So you think that is the same way. The dopamine that creates motivation is the same thing that creates addiction. So then you get addicted to sex, alcohol, marijuana. It's the same thing. It comes from the same chemical. It comes from the same chemical in the body. So that is, look at what is happening to betting. It's addiction.
The crave. Almost every young person.
It's the same thing. So if you check young people who are so into betting and they are so active in drug abuse, they are so active in sex abuse.
So you think betting isn't the way to go for young people?
When it consumes you, like the way sex can consume you, like the way alcohol can consume you, then you realize that it is not the substance, it is the void and the mental void and lack of future we can hold on to. That is what is creating all this, because we want to feel the void. We want to find something that can fill the void. But it is achievable that we can have quality healthcare and well-being. It's achievable. Others have done it, and they are human beings.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scoffrey. This is your camera. I want you to advise young people in 1 minute so that we can leave.
No, I can't advise you. We all know what we know, but I want to just appeal to you, to your heart, not your head. Treat your well-being, your emotional health, and your mental health as you would treat safeguarding your life. Treat it like that. I'm saying the cheapest of all is quality of friendship. Those of you in lovey, quality of lovey. Those of you who are married, quality marriage. Those of you who have acquaintances, network groups you belong to, quality ones. Belong to quality groups that you can discuss your future. Where do you want to go? What is your purpose in life? What is your mission in life? What are you focused on? What is your vision? Those relationships that will challenge your inner being to become great. And guess what? The greater you become, the better influential you become towards your society and your age mate. That is how we build a quality healthcare and well-being nation or community.
Wow.
So we need to go back to the basics.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Scoffrey. God bless you so much. A few messages on Facebook here. Rebecca Yeboah says that I love the show. Angela Elom Kuma says that I see you, Richie, watching from Accra Post Office. Okay. David says that I'm being enlightened more on the show. Great job. This one also says that, oh, Mr. Scoff here. Such a great man. He's impacted my life way back, and I'm glad to see him again. We want to have his contact so that if we need him to speak on programs, we can have him to educate and encourage more young people. This one says that, wow, your guest is on top of issues. Such a person we need more on such platforms. Okay, this one also says, can I have his number? I need him to personally be my life coach. I'm inside the Flagstaff house. Hey, yo, okay. That's some few messages also. This one says that an epitome of fountain of knowledge. Mr. Yeboah needs more platform to educate the citizenry. This is Collins Della from Cratchit. Okay, Collins, thank you so much. Well, this is where time will permit us, but we'll try and bring Mr. Yeboah back here on the show. We'll see how we can. Let me use this word carefully. We'll steal him back on the show next week, and hopefully we would have to start on time and open the phone lines as well, so you can have an engagement with him. All those that sent us messages. Let me just read just one last one, then we go. This one says that this is Chioma Kuche. Says that I'm watching you all the way from Nigeria, and I wish this man has a Nigerian passport, ECOWAS passport. I'm sure he has still a Nigerian passport. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Scoff. God bless you. God bless you. All right. So this is where time will permit us on another exciting edition of Youth Empowerment Television Show. Tomorrow we shall be here with a powerful interview. Tomorrow we will be having Edmond Owusu. He would be joining us, and it's another powerful interview you cannot miss. Thank you so much. If you say a prayer, say something for me. We always do this for God and country. Bye bye.